Top stories on the news at 3. West African Examinations Council to release May-June 2023 results today. Niger coup Bashir Adeni urges vigilance at Benin Republic Cameroon borders. Plus, Enugu State government bans unauthorized use of vehicles with tinted glasses. A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to RSTV News at 3. I am Akilachi KJ. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. And now the news in detail. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has urged every resident in the state to consciously engage in the campaign of marketing the state favorable as peaceful and investment-friendly to the rest of the world. The governor gave the charge at St. Philip's Anglican Church in Origwe community during the Thanksgiving service marking the end of the second session of the 5th Synod of the Diocese of Evo. Tamno Barabi Ibulubo completes the story.
With the Thanksgiving service, the synod that started last Wednesday will come to an end, and Governor Fubara told the church that they also have to join the campaign of projecting the state in positive light. Governor Fubara said already there are some disgruntled politicians who live and do business in the state, but still they market it because they were unable to ascend position of power, but their objectives will fail when everybody begins to take interest in promoting the state as peaceful, safe, and conducive to do business.
It's important that we continue to brainstorm from time to time on the best way to work, best way to continue to preach, and we don't allow the enemy to run us out. God remains the greatest thing. I will continue to uphold that Christian virtue, those tenets that shows that God is supreme, and with God everything is perfect. So I want to urge the diocese, while you're going on in this concluding part of the synod, that please, everything that you need to do it, because this is a time when we need to work for God.
Concerning programs of his administration, Fubara said already work has commenced on the Port Harcourt Ring Road project that will expand and develop a greater river state, while attention will also be given to youth empowerment, agriculture, and industrialization of the state. Governor Fubara stated that his administration will continue to uphold the tenets of Christianity and urge the church to be firm against lifestyles that negate biblical teachings and teach the youths against wrong use of technology that impact on them negatively.
About our administration, we started with a very gigantic project, the construction of a ring road for expansion and development of a greater river state. We will still do other things in terms of youth development, agriculture, industrialization. We will do them. But I want to appeal to you as a church. Please, it shouldn't be just a crusade for the government and the party members, but every one of us should try to market our state. We have had cases where leaders, because things are not favorable to them, their mission is to talk down on rivers. River State is peaceful. While you're doing your church work, also be a crusader to tell people that River State will have a better mission. We are doing our best. That, as against what they are telling you, is a place to come and invest.
Bishop of Esan Diocese in Edo State, Right Reverend Gabriel Elabo, preached and urged them to emulate Jesus Christ by being humble, serve selflessly, and be courageous to use his name against situations that they may face in life. Tamno Barabi Ibulubo, RSTV News.
2023 Foreign Missions International Convention of the Ascension Apostolic Church Worldwide, tagged USA 2023, has ended in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, with a call on Christians all over the world to see God as the only omnipotent God. The convention was attended by multitudes of people drawn from other nations of the world. The Foreign Missions Superintendent of the Ascension Apostolic Church Worldwide, where Reverend Legbara Jumbo, said the omnipotence of God makes him to be recognized first in all activities. in both public and private endeavors. The Ogoni-born international gospel preacher called on those in authority to always recognize the omnipotence of God in governance, through which insecurity and other acts of criminality could be eliminated. Reverend Jumbo further said, if God's creatures see God as the omnipotent God, various pandemics are faced in some parts of the world will be a thing of the past because he has unlimited powers over all creatures. He used the forum to announce that the Ascension Apostolic Church Worldwide, which was founded in Ogoni land over 40 years ago, now has branches in several nations across the world. He commended the vision of the founding fathers in the establishment of the first indigenous church in Ogoni land that has spread her tentacles worldwide. High points of the convention were deliverance, healing, praises, spiritual warfare, and the salvation of souls. Being your brother's keeper is a biblical and moral obligation so that the rich and poor can dwell in peace and love. In the light of this, an appeal has been sent to the government, NGOs, good-spirited individuals, and the public to assist Mr. and Mrs. Charles Okori of Ubahu to defray a bill of 1,150,000 naira only incurred on the delivery of premature twin babies at the Glylog Hospital. The Okoris are residents of Peterside Avenue of Ogbogoro in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State. Nga Nukabari's report is presented from our studios.
The father of the twin babies explained that his wife Chinelo gave birth to the premature babies on 8 July 2023 at Glylog Hospital, Glim Estate, off Cornerstone, Mbaraja, Ozoba. According to him, the hospital management refused to discharge and let his wife and babies leave the hospital because he could not afford to pay the accumulated bill of 1,150,000 naira only. He said he is handicapped because he had spent all his life savings trying to save his pregnant wife and has nothing left as a petty trader to enable him pay the bills.
I have issue which I'm seeking for public help. I've been in here for so long, getting to 3 weeks now. My wife gave birth to twins, premature. So they have been in incubator. But then by grace of God, doctor discharged us from the hospital. But we've not been able to pay our hospital bill. So our bill is 1 million naira. So that's why I'm looking for help from the public, to people to help me to come to my aid so that my wife and my children can go home successfully.
On her part, his wife Chinelo Okori said the twin babies were delivered normal but as premature 36 weeks and had to be kept in the incubator for 3 weeks to complete 9 months. She added that the stay of the twin babies on the incubator made the hospital management to bill them thus, which is far above their means, and is therefore appealing to the government and good Nigerians to come to their aid and enable them return to their home. The couple is appealing for financial assistance so that the birth of these twin babies, a blessing from God, will not turn to sorrow.
So I thank God for everything, for keeping them alive and also coming out of the incubator and then making me to deliver safely. That we need financial help from them to pay the bills because it's beyond us. So I'm begging Nigerians to please come to our aid so we can go home.
To this end, all those who wish to donate to the family should call Mr. and Mrs. Okori on these mobile numbers 080-373-75428 or 090-457-23082 or account number 207-804-6755, United Bank for Africa, UBA.
Manholes are synonymous with modern road construction to evacuate running water and create room for removal of debris from blocked drains. However, that aim is defeated as dubious metal dealers have taken to vandalizing such manhole covers, threatening the lives of residents of Rivers State. God's Power Nele in this report underscores the negative impact of such insensitive acts and what the authorities can do to curb the trend. His report is presented from our studios.
Manhole is an opening designed by road construction firms with a view to channeling water on the road during rains into drainages to avoid flooding. It also assists during the silting of the drains to reduce health hazard. The present administration in the state has deemed it necessary to provide basic infrastructure like modern road constructions with manholes for the people, but hoodlums use the early hours or late night to remove metal covers of the manhole, which could endanger lives and property, as well as defacing the beauty of the affected roads. RSTV news crew drove to several towns in Port Harcourt and Obiakpo local government areas and observed that manholes at Rumeme, Elekahia, Rumuaba, Transamadi, and Oginima slaughter areas had been stolen by an unknown person, thereby posing grave danger to lives and opportunity for people to squeeze solid waste into the drainage to block and cause flooding. The crew also observed some expired tires inside the manholes, while objects were used as symbols of danger to road users on the stolen manhole cover positions. Respondents interviewed expressed disappointment at the situation, which according to them will pose a threat to life as people may fall inside it.
And I always know that our bookie people always they do that in the all the time. In the night, from 2 o'clock to be 3 o'clock and then at 4 o'clock. So because they are always selling all this high on them.
I describe it as a very dangerous spot. Somebody can fall in and die, and armed robbers can be in, and in the night they attack the public.
This is very dangerous to human beings. Somebody can fall inside. Even Fayego can fall inside. They're supposed to have weather security to protect.
It's very, very unsafe. Government did this for safety, so that someone cannot fall there and get injury. But the way it stands now, all these malams are booking them. They remove it maybe at the night, then to sell it to make money. From Akarolo down to Mbog to Bridge, it's over 30 something that they removed.
Lagos, I stayed Lagos before. They don't do things like this. After just how many few years, people are feeling that to sell it for chicken change. Maybe they just sell it for scrap because they don't know the value.
This manhood has been removed by these scavengers. We do see them sometimes, they carry heavy iron. They started even cutting our wires for generators along the houses.
Stadium Road, Rumomasi, all those sides have been removing it. And before they even remove it, they came the first time to remove this. These are Boki people that is removing all these things. The other time they arrested one of them that is digging it. Before we came, the other, I think it's 2 weeks time, they came back and removed this one. So it's very dangerous.
Some suggested that government should enact laws through the legislature to ban operations of scrap dealers and constitute task force to enforce the ban.
I'm working now, I'm trying to put some alarm in our office there, because each time thief, every time they are entering these places, taking things, even individuals who can help the government to arrest whoever we see tampering this thing anytime. They should, anywhere they sell it, they should even arrest both the people that bought it and even the people that see with them. Government should put task force to be going around where all those where they have those their scrap dumps to be checking for this. If this is unique, it's something that you will see wherever you see it. It's easy to identify.
If they bring law out, I'm sure this thing will stop.
It is a collective responsibility of all and sundry to check the excesses of hoodlums who steal the metallic manhole covers in the state.
Do you love and care about River State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. Now time for a short break, but still to come on the news at 3. Morocco minibus plunge kills 24 on board. And in sports, Super Falcons crash out of World Cup after penalty loss to England. Stay tuned.
I just want your papers, please.
Sorry.
Salary don't enter. Yes, so. And Monday never even reach it. Na salary plenty, oh. No wonder I no gree collect roja from my hand. Shut up, sir. I'm here to bail my younger brother. happen.
With good laws,
proper funding, training,
and cooperation.
If it happen.
Stop! No need to step out. Presenting the Good Night Power Shots. Spray 2 shots in each corner of the room. It kills mosquitoes inside without driving family outside. Good Night Power Shots. Spray inside, stay inside.
TerraQ, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
This is RSTV World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. RSTV, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Hey, welcome back. You're still watching RSTV News at 3. The biblical meaning of dry bones is interpreted in different ways by Christians. God's Power Nele in this report sought to know the right meaning of dry bones. His report.
In the holy book of Ezekiel chapter 37, the attention of the people is drawn to the power of God and his manifestation of great miracles. Ezekiel was shown the vision depicting the condition of the children of Israel as of that time, using dry bones as a metaphor and exposing them to the best approach to overcome challenges. I visited some churches to completely understand the true meaning of dry bones. To my respondents, dry bones can mean a family challenge, unemployment, sickness, hunger, inability to marry or have children, intimidations, financial difficulty, having a wayward child, among others. These Christian faithful explained that challenges can come from anywhere, including the Church of God, which could worsen a situation and dampen one's faith.
Dry bone is a state of hopelessness.
Unemployment can be your own dry bone. Economic problem can be your own dry bone. Family problem can be your own dry bone. That you don't have children can also be your own dry bone.
Dry bones, it signifies so many things. It signifies sickness and family problems, marriage and other.
This thing could be attached to those unbelievers who, after their faith, they drop their faith and start, going astray. So the word of God can wake them up again to become believers.
Some encounter dry bone in barrenness, some in sickness, some in affliction, some in the trouble of life.
Which is the best way to go when confronted by difficulties? These workers of God provide the variables.
Even in that state when you think there is no life in you, beloved, there is life. The Lord is waiting for you to speak. What is that thing in your mouth? Speak it out. For a closed mouth is a closed destiny. And Ezekiel prophesied to the wind, and the wind came together, and the bones, life came into them, and they began to move. When you speak a word, believing in that word that everything is possible, don't lose hope. You will see your life coming back.
No matter the challenge you're passing through, ask question, why is this thing happening? What can I do to surmount these challenges? God will show you a way to surmount it.
Is it barrenness? In Genesis 1:28, he said, and the Lord blessed them, the Lord said unto them, be fruitful, replenish
demolish and subdue. There is fruitfulness everywhere. Are you going through sickness? Saints and 107 verse 20 that God sent his word and the word healed the sick. Are you going through trouble? 2 Peter chapter 5 verse 10, he says, when you have suffered a while, that the Lord Jesus Christ will come, he will establish you. One thing we must understand as children of God, that trials will come, affliction will come, but there is an assurance that the Lord will see you through.
Christians should diligently demonstrate their faith in God by obeying his instructions and learn how to make requests to their Father in heaven in order to overcome challenges and meet set goals. God's power Anele, RSTV News.
The West African Examination Council, WAEC, will today release the results of candidates that sat for the May-June 2023 West African Examination Senior School Certificate Examination, WASE. Acting Head, Public Affairs Head of National Office, Moyoshola Adesina, who disclosed that the Council is working around the clock to beat the deadline, said there was no problem during the marking of 76 subjects. Meanwhile, the body through the National Office of WAEC, Patrick Aregan, noted that marking of the results of 1,629,853 candidates was hitch-free, even in the East, where sit-at-home was being enforced. Aregan explained that a total of 20,851 secondary schools registered for the school examination, adding that a breakdown showed that 798,810 are males, representing 49.25%, and 823,043 males are 50.75%. Meanwhile, Enugu State government has declared a ban on the use of unauthorized vehicles with tinted glasses in the state. In a public service announcement issued by the Secretary to the Enugu State government, Professor Chidebere Onya warned that defaulting vehicles shall be impounded by the Enforcement Task Force and shall not be released to their owners until the tinted glasses are removed or replaced and the specified fines paid. The government said the ban, which should take effect from September 4, 2023, was in line with the avowed determination and commitment of the Governor Peter Mba administration to combat the nefarious activities of kidnappers and other criminal elements in the state. According to Professor Onya, the ban is primarily aimed at curtailing the activities of criminals and to generally enhance the security and safety of the good people and residents of Enugu State. Acting Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, Bashir Adeniyi, has warned his officers in Ogun State to be vigilant at Nigerian borders with Benin Republic, Cameroon, and others, as the Nigerian government continues to monitor the political situation in Niger Republic. This was part of measures to force the military junta in the West African country to restore the democratic order. Adeniyi also directed that any goods transiting through the Nigerian customs territory should be stopped if they are headed to the Niger Republic. He called on customs officials at the borders to be alert and vigilant and resist any attempt to jeopardize Nigerian national security. The customs boss also met with heads of other security agencies and security chiefs from the Benin Republic, called for collaboration to fight criminals in both countries. Niger's coup leaders have closed the country's airspace until further notice, citing the threat of military intervention from their neighbors. A junta spokesperson says Niger's armed forces are ready to defend the country, stressing they had information that a foreign power was preparing to attack Niger. The coup leaders seem to be showing no sign of willingness to cede power, and that thousands of their supporters rallied defiantly at a stadium in Niger's capital of Niamey. The military takeover has been internationally condemned by former colonial power France and the rest of the European Union, as well as the United Nations and the United States. ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Abdel Fattah Musa, said the bloc issued ultimatum a week ago demanding that the generals relinquish power. The West African group of countries, ECOWAS, had earlier warned it could use force as if President Mohamed Bazoum, who was detained on 26 July, was not reinstated. And in Morocco, a minibus which plunged into a ravine has killed all 24 people on board in one of the North Africa country's worst ever road accidents. Officials said the passengers were traveling a mountainous route to a weekly market in the town of Demnate, in the central province of Azilal, when the minibus overturned on a bend. Local authorities said an investigation has begun. According to the National Road Safety Agency, an average of 3,500 road deaths and 12,000 injuries are recorded annually in Morocco, with an average of 10 deaths per day. Authorities have set out to halve the mortality rate by 2026, ever since the worst bus accident in the country's history left 42 dead in 2012. And now at least 30 migrants are missing following 2 shipwrecks off the Italian island of Lampedusa. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, said survivors had reported that around 28 people were lost at sea on one boat, while the 3 were said to be missing from the second following stormy weather. Both flimsy iron boats are believed to have set up from Sfax in Tunisia, but an investigation into the shipwrecks have been opened in Argenteuil in Sicily. According to officials, the central Mediterranean crossing from North Africa to Europe is the world's deadliest. And now in entertainment, veteran actor and father of Yul Edochie, Pete Edochie, has shared his stance on polygamy, that he does not condemn taking in a second wife. He made this declaration during an interview with Chude Jideowo, after being asked about his views on polygamy. According to him, people who take second wives have their reasons for doing so. When asked why he didn't take a second wife himself, Pitt said that he did not marry another woman because he had no reason, as his wife already bore him 5 sons. And still on entertainment, Spotify has announced Teniola Akpata, popularly known as Tenny, as its All Africa artist for August. Since arrival on the Nigerian music scene, the award-winning Nigerian songwriter, singer, performer, actress, and social media sensation has become one of the most sought-after names in the African music sphere. As an All Africa artist, Tenny will feature prominently on the Spotify platform, offering her fans and music enthusiasts across the globe the opportunity to delve into a rich musical catalog, gaining a deeper appreciation for exceptional talent and contributions to music production. And now in sports, the Nigerian national women's football team have crashed out of the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. The Super Falcons, despite their gallant display, holding the Liners to a barren draw after 120 minutes, lost out 4-2 on penalty kicks. Missed kicks by Desire Oparonise and Michelle Alozie proved costly as England held their nerve to win their first final penalty shootout game in the World Cup. Unfortunately, the Super Falcons did not make their numerical advantage count and have now seen their blistering run at the World Cup come to an abrupt halt. Meanwhile, England are waiting to know who they face between Colombia and Jamaica. The Super Falcons will be looking to catch the next available flight as they shift their focus to the Olympic qualifiers. Do you love and care about revastating her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. That's it on the news at 3. Thank you for staying with me. I am Akilachi KJ. More news reports coming at 7:30 p.m. Stay tuned.